Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning America Health. I'm your host, Tanya Rivero. Two of the most popular cosmetic procedures in the U.S. are liposuction and breast augmentation. Now there's a procedure that combines the two, and it may someday prove to have greater medical value than the cosmetic benefit it now provides. It's a procedure in which fat is harvested from trouble spots in the body and injected into the breast. And joining me from Orlando to discuss it is plastic surgeon Dr. Roger Basson. Dr. Basson, welcome back. It's great to see you again.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
So first, if you will, tell us how this works. The last time you were on the show here in New York, you demonstrated the aqua lipo technique, and it's my understanding that you use that now as part of this two-step process?
Yeah, absolutely. What we're able to do now is we're able to take the fat that we remove using the aqua lipo technique is much better quality fat than any other type of procedure we've ever used before in terms of the fat removal. So being that we have a much higher quality fat, we can use this to transplant it into other areas of the body, and what the latest and greatest craze is going to be is using it for natural breast enhancement, and we call this procedure NaturalFill.
And this is a procedure that's only been available in the U.S. for about, what, 6 or 7 months?
Yeah, this is a procedure that recently has, to take a historical look on it, the American Society of Plastic Surgery actually had a ban on taking fat from one part of the body and putting it into other areas of the body, particularly the breast, because of the concern with imaging studies that it might trip up an imaging study and think that there might be a precancerous lesion.
Right.
But now, due to the most recent clinical evidence, we are now, in the last 6 to 8 months, this ban has been lifted, and now we are kind of pursuing this, and it's been proven to be very exciting, very successful.
And clear up before us, if you will, the role that stem cells play in this. I know that there's some research that's still a little premature, but is there a possibility that this procedure could help women who've had a mastectomy?
Well, yes, this is definitely a procedure that can help women that have had mastectomy. Patients who have had lumpectomy or have had a little portion of their breast removed, their breast tissue removed, we're still trying to get better evidence on that in terms of transplanting the fat, because we don't want to reactivate any previous breast cancer. Although there is no evidence scientifically that proves that, we're still trying to do this the most prudent way. Now, in terms of the stem cells, science has definitively proven that stem cells are in the greatest abundance in, believe it or not, our own fat. So whereas we previously thought the greatest concentration of stem cells was in our bone marrow, we're finding that there's 300 to 500 times the concentration of stem cells in our own fat. So now that we're removing the fat and not traumatizing it with our aqua lipo procedure, we're finding that it's not traumatizing the stem cells either. So when we transplant the fat, not only are we getting the stem cells that can help to reactivate the new blood vessel growth, but there's also some postulation that these stem cells might actually themselves turn into more fatty tissue, which is what we want in the breast, because that's what the breast is composed of. Sure.
So aside from this procedure, there's the possibility that these stem cells could lead to all kinds of other benefits. We don't know. We have to see where the science is going there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the U.S. is about 5 to 10 years behind what is going on overseas, because overseas they're taking the fat, they're harvesting the stem cells or spinning the stem cells out of the fat, culturing the stem cells, and using the stem cells for many of different conditions. The one that jumps to the top of my head is they are using the stem cells and injecting it into patients who have had heart attacks, which really is dead heart tissue, injecting those stem cells into the heart tissue, and it is regenerating brand new heart tissue. So this has incredible promise in the future in medicine in general. So
absolutely,
so patients will be able to actually have their stem cells removed and bank it for possible further use.
It's fascinating, and we will definitely see where the science goes there. Let's go back to the breast augmentation procedure. Who is a good candidate for this, and tell us what the results look like? I'm curious because with a traditional breast augmentation, I would imagine that the shape of the breast is a lot easier to control. Here, there's a little bit more skill involved, right?
Well, absolutely. There's definitely a technical aspect of it, and myself and my team of plastic surgeons really are very technically advanced in terms of how we use this fat. But you would think that it's harder to shape it and to give the breast the type of shape we're looking for, compared to the traditional style augmentation, and that's not correct. We're able to actually shape it and do a better job in terms of giving the right shape and trying to put the volume back where we want to put the volume with this procedure versus the older procedures.
Now, what if you are a little too thin, let's say, and you don't have enough excess fat to lipo and place in the breasts? That person could not get this procedure done?
Yeah, that's a great question. For patients who are thin, or really for any patient, we're really limited as to how much fat we can take out with the aqua lipo procedure in terms of how much volume we can put back into the breast. What we typically tell our patients is that if you're too skinny and we need to build up some fat cells or enlarge your fat cells, I'll tell my patients to literally go on a cupcake diet or eat a lot of cake.
Who wouldn't want to hear that? Okay, finally, we don't have a lot of time. How much does it cost, roughly?
Well, typically you're running somewhere between $6,000 and $12,000 depending on how many body areas we have to use to harvest the fat from.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Roger Basson. Thank you. Fascinating. And for more health news and information that's good to know, check us out on the health page at abcnews.com.